Hello, 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 y'all. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see who's up in here. Hey, Miss Dolores. Hello there. How are you? Hey, Evangelist. Hello there, Evangelist. I hope you enjoying your winnings. Evangelist did win last month's raffle, y'all. Hey, Diamond. Hello there. How are you? Lolita. Hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Deja. Hello there. Hey, Teresa. I hope you guys are having a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday so far. Hey, Donisha. Hey, love. How are you? I hope you guys are on. What story? This world has gone mad. Yeah, this one. So we were supposed to be doing the update for. We are supposed to doing a part two for the lady that left her child captive, but I forgot that I had did part one and part two in regards to her possibly having something to do with her friend's death. I forgot that I did that on part one already. I think I did. But if I'm gonna have to go look at the video, but I believe I did. So before I just went live and just did the same thing again, I just said, let me just do something different. Hey, Crime Mobster, how are you? Hey, Jeannie, hello there. Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, guys. Thank you. Hey, Elizabeth. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Listen, we are on our new month raffle giveaway. Okay. Last month winner was Evangelist. She has already received her raffle winnings for the month. Okay. Now for this month's raffle, we have a totally different giveaway. And this one can be entered by simply sending a super chat because, as you guys know, we are now able to do so. So you enter into this month's raffle by sending a super chat or any type of chat, so that you can enter. And then at the end of the month, we're going to pull your raffle, and then you will be able to get your winnings. Okay. Make sure that you guys continue to share the live out. I would definitely appreciate it. Hey, Sandra, make sure that you guys share the live out if you can, and I'll definitely appreciate it. Now, Kimani's case, okay? From my understanding, there's supposed to be a court date very much soon, but I do believe that this is a court date that is for the stuff that happened out there in Columbus because he has to be extradited back down to Toledo, okay? So I think that's what this court date is for, but if it is not, and it is in reference to Kimani's situation, we're going to cover it this week and do the updates for that, okay? I do know that her funeral is coming up, and from my understanding, it's supposed to be um two different funerals, one for the family and then one for the public. Now, in regards to his court date today, I don't know if it's going to be because he's currently in Columbus, and as you guys do know, he has charges that is in Columbus right now. So he possibly could be going for what's happening there and then be extradited for what happened in Toledo. Okay, I don't know how they're going to do it, but whatever updates do come from it, I'm going to definitely let you guys know. You can either stay tuned on savageroyalty.com for when the news break, or I may post a video or something like that when it all comes into play. Okay, that's where we're at right now. Now, for those of you that were wondering about any other updates that's coming from Kimani's situation, I have put a pause on Kimani's situation because we're now in the messy zone. In the messy zone of viral cases, it typically turns into there's a stage in the investigation when social media is a part of it that mess comes. With that mess comes narratives, lies, and all type of spin arounds. So before I come live and add to the spin around, I prefer to wait until the investigators say something. And from this case right now, they have been dead silent. And dead silence is good because when dead silence happens in investigations, nine times out of 10, there's work to be had and there's things to get done. It's a very messy zone right now. Okay. And I prefer to stay over here outside of it. And if anything comes from the investigation from the investigators, I will discuss it. Anything outside of that, whether it be the family, whoever, I will not be covering it. Okay. I don't want to add to that. That's smart. Oh, okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay. I'm just not. Alrighty. So this case, I don't know if y'all heard about this case or not. I stumbled upon this and it kind of got me because apparently a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old then offed the adoptive mother, and they were attempting to flee, and now they're being charged as an adult in this case. This case is out of Washington City. And it happened at a vacation rental home, where they had went there to vacay. And the incident had happened on March the 22nd. And this happened in Washington City, which is in Utah. Andreea Mottram, who was 47, who is from Romania. And she's a social worker and as well as a mental health advocate. She lost her life at the hands of two teenagers. Okay. So here is Andreea. Okay. Um, and here is the two teenagers. So this is Mihaela Bella. Okay. Mihaela Bella Gabriella Sorescu. I'm not sure how you say her last name. She's 16 and she is Mottram's adoptive daughter. Okay. And then you have Abigail, known as Jay. So Abigail J. Page Flanagan, who is 17, and she is Bella's friend. Okay. And they have been charged with first degree murder, obstruction of justice, as well as vehicle theft as well. So the timeline of events that happened with this situation is this. So Mottram had traveled to Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. She then rented rented out a vehicle for the trip to Washington, okay, to Washington City, Utah, where she was then joined by Bella and Jay, okay, where they then all three of them go together and they're deciding to go on this vacation. So the trio had traveled to the vacation rental home that was near the Nevada and Utah border, okay? Are those two teens dating? They're putting them out there as friends, but something tells me it's a little different than that. We're going to, y'all know we're going to discuss it. So on March the 22nd of 2025, on a Friday night, which is estimated time of death, on a late evening, autopsy did later confirm that Mottram was deceased somewhere around midnight. Okay. So on the 23rd, cleaning crews had entered the vacation rental and discovered Mottram's body. Police had called immediately for assistance from the public. Okay. Now, when they called for assistance from the public, it then began to take a turn. Okay. Because then they began to put out notices for persons of interest, which was Bella and Jay. There was an immediate manhunt that was launched following this discovery of Mottram's body. Authorities had identified Bella and Jay as the persons of interest in this case. After discovering the rental car was missing, as well as surveillance and license plate readers had tracked the vehicle across state lines as well. Okay. Now, when they went in to find her body, all right, on Saturday, March the 23rd, the cleaning crews had entered the vacation rental and discovered her body. Police had called immediately for assistance and evidence was found. So they found Mottram's body with 14 stab wounds, 2 phones, a purse that was submerged in the toilet, a bloody knife in the kitchen sink, a crumpled pair of pants with a bloody knife near them, and no signs of forced entry. So we know if there's no signs of forced entry, then whoever did this had easy access to the home, whether it was a visitor or whether it be someone that was closely connected to the victim. And here we are with the adoptive daughter and her friend. So on March the 23rd, Mottram's rental car was recorded via automated license plate readers that was seen in Cedar City, Utah. No, they're children. These are kids, 16 and 17. These are kids. So the vehicle was then detected in Paramount, California, which is about 400 miles from the crime scene. So on March the 27th, which was a Wednesday, the U.S. Marshals and law enforcement had located and arrested Bella and Jay. They arrested them in Los Angeles, California. The pair was then extradited back to Utah. Both have remained there in the Dixie Area Detention Center, waiting for, their process and their due process and all of that. So the crime scene, of course, showed that the victim had 14 stab wounds, and these stab wounds included chest as well as stomach wounds as well. There was blood evidence that was found in multiple rooms. Multiple knives was also found, one washed with residue on it that showed blood. I think he asking you that, Savvy. Am I married? Very so, happily married. Yep. I'm not just married. I'm happily. You got to say that in 2025. You got to put happily, ladies. Say happily. That way they can know that there is no door. Happily married. Yes, sir. Alrighty. So they also found they also found the toilet had contained some evidence as well, two phones and a purse with Mottram's ID that was submerged in an attempt to destroy the evidence, as well as crucial clothing evidence, which blood was spotted heavily on on pants that was leaked to Bella. Okay, Bella is literally, this is her adopted mother, by the way. Okay. So the autopsy reports says, and the medical examiner did confirm, the time of death had occurred somewhere before midnight on March the 22nd. The cause of death was, of course, the multiple stab wounds. Now, as of recently, the father of Bella have come to say, and his name is Frank, he came out to say, well, hey, I'm coming to let you guys know that we had discovered at one point in time that Bella had made some diary entries sometime in November, where Bella had revealed a hatred for her adoptive mother, as well as wanting to kill her. She was some intent to kill her mother. Hey, Riley. So Frank also did disclose as well that Bella has some violent tendencies and apparent and some history of, self-harming. Okay. So Bella was enrolled in a residential treatment facility prior to all of this for the past 3 years. Reportedly had some conflicts with her mother, and Mottram was visiting her daughter during the murder as well. Thank you. So Abigail, who is Jay, all right, and Bella's friend, recently was removed from the treatment facility by their parents. Okay, so she left for some reason, but she was removed. So she accompanied Mottram to visit Bella at the facility. So the role in the murder is still being determined in regards to Jay. Like, what role did she play into this? Who did what and why? Was this premeditated? Now, due to these diary entries, they can slap a premeditation on her quick. Okay? Because of the diary entries alone. Now, when it comes to the victim's profile, she like we stated earlier, was born in Romania, and she was a Romanian advocate as well for autism awareness and mental health. Wow. Isn't this month? This is Autism Awareness Month, isn't it? Hmm. Did she have money? I haven't seen anything about her status. But for her to lose her life during Autism Awareness Month, guys, and she was an advocate for it, is crazy. Life is kind of crazy and bizarre. Of course, it was premeditated. So the adoptive mother of Bella, she is the adoptive mother of Bella. She is described as being very compassionate, resilient, and an advocate for underserved communities as well. She was known for her activism and dedication to the LGBT community, and a GoFundMe was also launched for her funeral services. So, in regards to the legal statuses, both defendants have been charged as an adult under Utah law, and it's automatic first degree. They cannot face the death penalty due to their ages, of course, and they are awaiting further proceedings and they're being held without bond. So the ultimate question in this is why? Why? The only thing that I can think, because when I first seen this, I'm thinking maybe her family didn't accept her if they were in a relationship. Okay. Like you guys are thinking, are they dating? But with the adopted mother being an advocate for LGBT, that shouldn't be the problem. Now, if they're saying that both of these girls met in some form of a rehabilitation center or some form of treatment center, it leads me to believe, especially since they're minors, that they both were dealing with either some behavior issues or mental health issues. One of the two. Because many times children are placed in treatment facilities when they're dealing with that type of stuff. And then sometimes it can also be a group home or something like that that they can be, sent to as well because of those reasonings. But um for her, yeah, why? That's why I asked, did the mom have money? For her to write this in a diary, though, there was anger built up. Could be psychotic. It could be because they were going to go visit her there. They were going to go visit her. Unless, here's the thing. So listen, the family of Jay had already pulled Jay out. Stick with me now, okay? Maybe Bella wanted to leave too, but with Jay. And her family would not allow her to leave the facility. Could that be what it was? Like, because Jay is free, she can go and come as she please and she's no longer in the treatment facility. So I'm gonna tell you where I'm getting this from. What's that Gypsy Rose? You remember how Gypsy Rose was being controlled by her mama and she met that person on the internet and she wanted to be free of the abuse? So they both concocted together to kill the mama like that. Not saying that this woman abused her or anything, but basically she didn't want to be under the mother's control, or maybe the mother was strict or the parents were strict, or maybe she just wanted to be out of the treatment center, no longer wanting to be there anymore. And Jay's parents had already pulled her out. And 9 times out of 10, they probably met there already dealing with their own mental things. Could be. Yeah. That's the only thing that I can think about, you know, is that because for her to have been writing it in a diary prior to this even happening, this is definitely a buildup of something. Now, what that buildup is, I don't know. It could be sometimes, like we always say, sometimes kids are just so spoiled that when things don't go their way, they can snap. We've seen parents, we've talked about parents being killed over video games. So in 2025, we really cannot underestimate the reasoning behind it. I think she just wanted to be with Jay. Cause that's my thinking too. I really think that they were more than just friends. I think they were way more than just friends. And maybe their family did not know that they were made way more than just friends, or maybe they did. Not sure, you know? And she decided that she wanted to go and be with Jay, and Jay has his her freedom, and Jay can go as she pleases. Cause Miss Bella looked like a hellraiser. I tell you that now. She looked like a little hellraiser. Hmm. I believe they were dating. Parents should now be mandated to parenting classes. Maybe some of the kids will still be alive. Here's the thing though. Bella was adopted. Bella was adopted, right? Don't know, because of course information is still coming out. Don't know how long Bella has been with her adoptive parents. Don't know. Um, but she could have came with already pre-existing trauma. And shoot, if they had money to put them in treatment facilities and things of that nature, they possibly ain't that broke unless they found someone to help them, because there are services to help with treatment for juveniles and things of that nature where you don't have to pay for it. Now, if they're coming out of pocket with it, treatment facilities are pretty expensive. And for them to be housing her there and keeping her there, that's pretty expensive in some instances, you know? So I honestly, hmm, this is a sticky situation, guys. This is sticky, but they're done. Okay. They are so done. Now, I do have, let's see, because I believe I have the court docs for this. One second. Do I have it? I do. Okay. So let's go over the court docs. Okay. And see, because sometimes the court docs adds a little more substance to the investigation to let us know maybe some holes were missing. Okay. So on March 23rd of 2025, officers were called to 1209 Bellow Alley in Washington City, Utah for a report of a person down. Officers had then arrived at the scene and met with the cleaning staff who were employed by the VRBO. They indicated that they had arrived at the residence and found that the garage door was open. The cleaning staff had indicated that they had entered the residence to clean and found that there were a lot of belongings left in the residence. They indicated that they went upstairs and found a person who was then unresponsive. Officers had then entered the residence to perform a welfare check on the individual who was reportedly non responsive. They then located a female with 14 wounds who was deceased. On the initial safety sweep, officers had then located two cell phones, a purse that was submerged in a toilet. And during the initial safety sweep and subsequent search of the residence, officers did not see any signs of forced entry. It was later found that there were two juveniles who had stayed at the residence with the victim. The victim was identified as Andreea Mottram. The juveniles were later identified as 16-year-old daughter Mihaela and 17-year-old Abigail, known as Jay. Both Bella and Jay are accounted for at this time, and they are the primary suspects for the murder of Andrea. Andrea, Bella, and Jay are believed to have been the sole occupants of the vacation rental property. The phones that was found in the toilet are to believed to be belonged to Andrea and Jay. The purse that was found in the toilet contained an ID belonging to Andrea. So these items appear to be placed in the toilet in an attempt to flush in an effort to conceal the evidence and delay the apprehension. So Bella has been at residential treatment facility for the last 3 years and is currently enrolled in Washington County Residential Treatment Facility. Jay has been in the residential treatment facility for the last year and was recently taken out of the residential care facility by her parents. In speaking with Frank, he indicated that in November they located a diary that had been written by Bella. He stated that in the diary, she had indicated how much she hated her mother and wrote that she wanted to kill her. Frank also indicated that Bella will self-harm herself and will often, you guys know the rest, can't say that part. Frank also indicated that Bella has a history of violent behavior. So, as evidence technicians were working on the scene with the victim, when the victim was discovered, they located several knives in the residence. One particular location was in the sink, had been washed off, and however, there were traces amounts of blood that was found on the knife. Um, Through my investigation, I was able to learn that Andrea had rented a red 2024 Hyundai Kona when she flew to Las Vegas, Nevada on 3/20 of 2025. I was able to obtain all of the vehicle information, such as the license plate number for the rental car property. So, upon information and belief, Andrea was the sole name on the rental agreement and the sole authorized driver due to the other individuals being juveniles. So the same Hyundai was seen via automated license plates reader camera in Cedar City, Utah on 3/23 of 2025 at approximately 0:45 hours as it was traveling on I-15. It was later seen traveling on I-15 in Las Vegas, Nevada on 3/20/23 at approximately 05:08 hours. So the vehicle was last read in Paramount, California at approximately 0900 hours. So the deputy medical examiner's office who responded to the scene and conducted its own independent investigation for the Utah Office of Medical Examiners had estimated the victim's time of death to be approximately 10 o'clock on 3/22 of 2025. At this time, there is a probable cause to suspect that the victim was stabbed to death by Jay or Bella, and that both are criminally responsible under the Utah code. So they don't know who did what as of right now. They don't know if it was Bella that did the stabbing. Thank you, Miss Dolores, for your super sticker, and you're going to be entered into this month's raffle. Thank you so very much. Um, and probably still causing havoc at the facility. I think that Bella didn't want to be at the facility anymore, and I think her family was keeping her there. And I really think that her goal was to run off with Jay, and they were going to live happily ever after. That is honest. That is my honest belief. that she did not want to be, because who wants to be at a facility when your friend is currently out, your best friend, and was what the media is saying. But I really think that she did not want to be there anymore. And due to her behavior and due to her mental health and due to, the liability in which she held, I think that her parents kept her there for her own protection and theirs. Because um, if they're finding diaries of, you know, her wanting to, off the mother, shoot, I would have locked her up too. You got to get up out of here. I wouldn't be safe in here sleeping if I find a diary of you ready to off me. No, you got to go. We gonna pack you right on up and send you over here to one of these treatments where we know you safe. And they probably was afraid of her. The parents, shoot, the mother was what, 47 years old? Probably trying to manage her own life. The father's probably trying to manage his own life, and when they have to live in fear of a teenager wanting to kill him, yeah, they probably locked her up and kept her there for a good old reason, out of fear, and she wanted to leave. And Jay had just got out. So wait, let me see how long Jay has been gone. Let me look at that. Let me look at that time stamp again, that date stamp of when Jay got out. So Jay was out for So Jay had been at the residential facility for at least a year and was recently taken out. Yes, so Jay was recently taken out. And I really think that due to Jay being out, Bella wanted to be out too. And they wanted to be out together. One thing that made the living hell, the one thing that made the living hell any better was Jay. One thing that made the living hell any better was Jay, probably. Like her happiness, yeah. Jay probably was. Jay probably was. You know how some children, because I can speak from a child that had behavior problems, and I had my comfort with certain people. When my parents pissed me off, I did have my comfort with certain people, and there were some friends that were like my go-to, and I just felt like that understood outside of my parents. And sometimes when children deal with that, they honestly, just find their comfort person. And Jay probably was that. Jay probably was that, you know. Lolita, thank you so very much. Yes, if you like this video, please like this video, and I would definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Amos, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are now entered into the raffle as well for the month of April. Oh wow. This is kind of crazy. This is truly crazy. Well, this is a case that we're gonna be monitoring closely, just to see how this comes out. Okay, we're gonna see how this plays out and how this how it does its thing, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, we're over here on the Bigo side of things. The Bigo people over here, you guys, they're still in some of y'all time. They're still in some of y'all time. So we're gonna be keeping this very much updated, okay, and see how this case comes out, see how it plays out, and step by step. If any updates do come from this, I'll definitely let you guys know. All right. If you are new over here, please make sure that you do subscribe, as I do cover new cases every single day. Okay, new cases, new investigations every single day. All right. Make sure that you do subscribe so that you do not miss anything. But also make sure that you also subscribe to savageroyalty.com to stay updated to everything that I have going on. Okay. Everything. I'm all over social media. If you go to your Google browser, type in Savage Royalty. That is royalty without a Y at the end. Everything me will pop up, and subscribe to everything, whether it be my TT, my TikTok, my YouTube, whatever it is. Just make sure that you do follow all social media platforms. Okay. I really enjoyed your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bigo, I'm over here with you. All right. We're going to do one story today that I do want to cover with you guys and see what comes. Apparently, the father for Kimani is supposed to be going to court today. I don't know if he's already went, but I am going to check to see. and see what they got out of that today. So that's what we're about to go do right now. Thank you guys so much for the support, and thank you for watching True Crime with Savage Royalty.